Episode 5 finally pulls back the curtain on Triss, a character tied directly to the mysteries of the Demoness Sect. But what looks like a glimpse into one character is really a warning about a sect that thrives on secrets.
Episode 5 doesn't just introduce Triss, it sets the stage for the Demoness Sect's role in the story and the danger it represents.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Today we're going to deep dive into episode 5 of Lord of Mysteries. All right, Ghost, well, let us know what the synopsis is.
In episode 5, Klein is tasked with solving the mystery that befell a passenger ship. And in the opening, it starts with an opera. What do you think about that scene?
Yeah, so I was curious to know if the words of the opera were actually translated to English properly or not. You know, if this is how it was really supposed to be told, the opera or the song. But it was a cool scene. You actually uncovered quite a few mysteries on this that I didn't quite tell right away.
Yeah, I think the boat killing and the opera are connected. And I think it was a confession, the opera, to Triss's murders. Because apparently he's famous. Mm-hmm. Right, and that's the reason why Dunn Smith was like, we can't just grab him and throw him in jail without having proof because of his fame. But if you look at the opera in itself, while the play was going on, they were showing scenes of the murder on the boat. The bodies being piled up.
Yeah,
the passengers being stabbed. I think even like some type of rodent being eaten by birds and maggots. Yeah, so to me, that screamed that it was a confession.
Yeah, now that you mention it and you give a breakdown, I really missed that altogether. I thought it was just an opera show. I was wondering why they were showing it. But now that I look back on it and reflect, yeah, it definitely was foreshadowing, or at least...
Yeah, some type of things that were going on.
Yeah, like a
with Trish.
Yeah, Easter egg or whatnot.
Yeah, Easter egg, basically, yeah. Which was interesting to see that he was the person in the play. That I noticed that as well. I was like, okay, Triss is in this play. You know how Lord of Mysteries is. They always connect everything together in this weird way.
For sure, yeah. There wasn't really a lot else to go off of in that scene. I think the only other thing I noted was that Miss Daly wasn't there, according to Dunn. And that's because she was off to protect the Antigonus notebook or to carry it out.
Yeah, I think she had other duties. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then after that, it pretty much segues into the next part after that scene.
Yeah, if I could recall correctly, I mean, the next scene that we see is Klein himself using his seer powers to actually start, acting like a seer.
Yeah.
And trying to use his divination ability to find missing people.
Yeah, and I think it was Joyce, right? The man?
Yeah, I believe so.
Which is interesting name, right? Joyce. His wife tasked Klein with using his seer abilities to locate his location. And they kind of like, once again, the pacing of the show kind of showed its, bad side, where Klein is looking for Joyce, and obviously they don't know where he is, but then they skip already right after that to a scene where Joyce is there.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I thought that was kind of strange.
How the pacing was terrible, yeah.
All of a sudden he was there in the steps while they were walking to the carriage.
Yeah.
And then she also, what confused me was that Joyce's wife was like to Triss, like, oh, thank you for saving my husband. And then also to Klein, like, this is the man that saved your life. So I was like, what?
Well, I guess Klein knew that he was coming home.
Yeah.
Because he saw the situation. That was the most he could see. He's like, okay, your husband's probably fine. He'll make it here eventually, I guess. Probably what he told her. But the pacing was just so terrible. Like, they should have showed Klein giving her an answer.
No, not at all. It definitely was pretty bad.
Yeah. And also, it was like, well, I guess Triss knew that they were Nighthawks. Because the way he looked at them when he got in the carriage, he was like, those dirty,
Yeah, so
those dirty...
That dirty look that he gave him in the back as he got into the carriage.
Yeah, but then after that, you show Klein basically, continuing to work with the divination club and whatnot.
Yeah, that's when he...
money.
Well, that's what the next scene actually was when he went to the mine because the old man came back and said he was having nightmares. And that's when he went to his mind or to his dream, pretty much, and tried to uncover what was going on. And he noticed that Triss was in there trying to... Didn't Triss basically portal him into some other world?
Yes, Triss is in there. He portaled him into the Hornacious Mountains.
Hornacious.
Yeah,
That
the
term again.
hornacious. I don't think Triss might have been involved in that. Maybe there's something else that was pulling strings in that moment. Let me know in the comments if you know the answer to that. But
Yeah.
I don't think Triss was involved in that situation. Because Klein saw him in the dream world, which was also really cool too, because I didn't know Klein could do that.
Yeah, we're learning some new things about him.
Yeah, he's like jumping in people's dreams now. That's pretty interesting. So he's like in Joyce's dream. He sees Triss at the top of like the boat area in a flash, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you were here when this happened. So you're most likely the culprit." And then he gets, zoomed into the Hornacious Mountains. He sees like the chair with the vines and whatnot, and there was an eye, a red eye as well.
Yeah, that whole scene was pretty dope, and I wonder it had its own little mystery there as well because the Hornacious Mountains, we know, was told by the professor before, and the other episode when he said, "Oh, well, Hornacious, maybe you're talking about the Hornacious Mountains," and he kind of just like gaslighted him and wrote it off and just kept it moving. But
yeah, he keeps hearing those hornacious things in his ear, whatever little whispers. I guess something's calling him to that location.
yeah, I'll be interested to see as the season keeps on unfolding what it has for him.
All right, so let's discuss the scene where Triss wakes up with all the women in the bed. Well, there's like 3 women, right?
Yeah.
And the women apparently are the wives of the sailors. I didn't catch that the first time I watched it.
Right, I didn't either.
Yeah.
I also didn't catch the first time I watched it that it was they were dead.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
He killed them too? Crazy.
He killed them and then basically had his way with their corpse.
That's disgusting.
So little necrophilia for you going on there.
Seriously. Another thing that I thought of in that scene is like, why did he let Joyce live? It doesn't make sense because he wouldn't have been caught if he wouldn't have let Joyce live.
That's a good question.
What was the point of that? Was it?
I wonder if, again, the pacing within this episode was so fast that they could have skimmed right over that maybe Joyce has some type of natural immunity to his ability.
Correct. Everyone else went crazy but Joyce. However, it looked like Triss was there and he saved him. So he had the opportunity to hold him underwater probably or kick him off the boat, which he didn't take. And he also didn't take his wife.
Right.
But with his abilities, you would think at any moment he could finish the job, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So the question is, why didn't he?
Yeah, that's a little bit of a plot hole. Maybe you guys might know because they didn't really give us a whole lot on that episode about that piece.
Exactly. And we still don't know who the woman is possibly a guy, right? Because we know how this sect works.
The Demoness Sect.
Yeah. So we still don't know who she is. They gave Triss the Sequence 7 book.
Right. And the task, because, I mean, she technically gave him the task to do everything on the boat, to murder all those people.
Yeah, and his reward was the book.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's a setup later on that has to do with Klein, I'm thinking. Some sort of setup.
All right, well, let's dive into the next scene, which portrayed the underground market and the mundane system. That was a pretty interesting scene.
Yeah, the Tengen market was cool. I thought it kind of shows us, like, what other items might be lurking behind the scenes of the Nighthawks, the government, or the churches in itself. Because it seems like there's a black market where everyday citizens can purchase items and trade things, most likely. There's probably all sorts of crimes down there because remember Old Man Neil was like, hide your wallet.
Right.
So there's like a whole underground world of issues and things happening down there. They're probably going to come back later on when Klein needs to find something or some sort of information later on.
For sure. I love that, again, they're showing us more of normal people, the normal world that they have built that has mysticism tied into it naturally, besides just the Beyonders. Right? We got the last episode with the Divination Club, that there is normal people that practice divination. And now we're seeing that even normal people have a black market of some sort that can purchase, magical items and amulets and charms and even black market goods that are mystical themselves.
Did you catch the scene with the Roselle charm?
No, I missed that.
So there was a scene where the man was like, this is a charm from Roselle himself. And Klein was holding it and he was like, it has a piece, I think, from his diary or something on it.
Okay.
And Klein is looking at it. He's like, no, thank you. And he was like, if only they knew that it says dumbass on it. That was the words that were written on it.
In Chinese? Dang.
Yeah, in Chinese. And they thought it was some like great artifact.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, but that also shows us there could be all sorts of things down there, right? That are linked to Roselle and Roselle's diary or the history of the world in general.
Yeah, good take. What about that crazy old man that had like all that mystical power, right?
Yeah, I think he had some type of seeing ability, kind of like Klein's, but just a lot more on a different level.
Yeah, I think that was a good. I think that was a good introductory.
Foresight or something like that. Yeah.
It was an introductory to show us that there's regular humans out there that just have very high spiritual power naturally, even though
Yes.
they're not beyonders or communing with any type of god on their world, but just naturally more talented people than others.
Yeah, I mean, so far we know how Beyonders work. We know how the deities work, divinations work. I guess the divinations kind of count as magic in a way. Then we have talismans, we have amulets, and now we have like protective items as well. Because Klein went down there to kind of get the parts to make a necklace.
Yeah, to make the protective charms for
Yeah,
his
the protective
family, pretty
charms
much.
for his family. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool seeing it. I still don't understand why the people were trying to chase after Triss and murder him in that scene, though.
So after
capture
that
that?
scene, yeah, Dunn Smith explains after that scene that there's another group. I forgot what they were called, like another police force. Let us know in the comments if you know the answer to this.
Oh, okay.
And that police force linked Triss to murders already in different cities.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
so they weren't which is why when Klein got in the carriage after chasing him with the police force, Dunsmith explained to Klein that they don't have evidence of his crime on the boat, but they don't need it because the other group already linked him to a bunch of murders.
Gotcha.
So they know that he's guilty.
Okay.
Now, what are those murders? They didn't really explain that, but there's a link.
That makes a lot of sense. At first, I thought it was just like some thugs or something like that he owed money to, or were coming after him for like blaming him for something like that. But now that you mentioned the police, that makes a lot more sense why they were just firing out an open crowd and going wild.
Well, that's a little crazy, right?
Yeah, they were just firing at him.
Shooting everywhere. But that same police force, is the same force that Old Man Neil, explained that resided in that location. And as long as crime or whatever they were doing was at a minimum, they wouldn't get involved in the black market.
I see.
That's what Old Man Neil said. So I'm guessing that there's another layer to the security in the city that is kind of showing itself, and we'll figure that out more later on.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they keep expanding on, black markets or underground markets and all the different things that are mystical around the world that don't tie to just beyonders.
All right, so let's continue to talk about the scene where they're in the carriage together, because Dunn Smith kind of explains a little bit about the Demoness Sect and how they worship the Mother of Chaos and also the instigator pathway.
Yeah. So, I mean, I really like the instigator pathway, how it basically, it convinces you to pretty much off yourself, right?
It's compelling powers, basically.
Compelling powers. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like an assassin instigator. I'm guessing it's like kind of like having words in your back of your head, like a subconscious voice that you don't really know it's there, just like telling you jump off that boat, slit her throat, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, it's my idea, but it's really not your idea. I guess that's how it kind of works.
I like that the whole pathway is the assassin pathway. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, that is pretty sick, honestly. And the witch in the assassin pathway is kind of interesting too. Like, I wouldn't think that would be there, but it is what it is,
Maybe think about it some ways, like witches are kind of like assassins. Cast a lot of spells from afar away and have targets that they usually try to knock out.
And the Demoness Sect, it looks like they just basically cause trouble in every city they go to. They just cause a lot of psychological things to occur and go wrong, which makes them really hard to kind of catch or figure out something's going on.
Right.
Because they don't leave physical clues. It's more like mental clues.
Yeah, I mean, by far out of all the different evil societies that we've been introduced to now, they seem to be the most dangerous, or at least the most put together, that are actually competent.
Actually, you're right. Yeah, because Mr. Vincent was a moron.
Yeah.
The clown, I don't know, another moron.
Yes.
He was cool, but he just didn't really have his situation together.
They didn't have a great plan there, and the Aurora one didn't have a great plan either.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. Yeah, this is the only deck so far is put together. What do you think about the scene where Triss ran into the building and came out Trissy?
Yeah. So first time I watched the episode, that threw me off guard. I didn't even caught that. I thought it was unique. Like I knew there was some type of point of why the girl fell to Klein's lap. So I knew there was some importance to it, right? Like this show does certain things like that. Like there's some call out. But it wasn't until we later on got the reveal that it was Triss. But it's interesting to know now that in order to join the Demoness Sect, you have to basically just
cut your junk off.
Yeah, you have to become a eunuch, right? Or
but the funny part is like, how fast did he get that done?
Yeah, that's
that's kind of crazy. They like chase him in the building, and a female comes out full dressed like a female. First of all, like amazing his speed to get ready, like unheard of, unheard of.
Well, there was a bunch of females in that room already, so maybe, but even then they would have to like cover for him. I don't know. Again, the pacing was so quick.
Exactly. So, well, first of all, Trissy still had the hat that Triss wore because when she jumped into Klein's arms, the hat fell.
Right.
So I'm not sure if that was intentional or by accident. Possibly by accident, maybe the transfer still kind of like overwhelmed her body, her new body.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's what I'm thinking. So she's like fell in Klein's arms, and then the hat falls. Klein sees the hat, which later on he puts together and realizes the female was Triss.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions around that whole scene and how quick it happened.
Yeah, I mean, where's the junk? Where's it at?
He had to slice it off while he was
Klein's
running.
gonna have to do his little search thing. Like, where's?
and that's another good question, right? Like Klein was able to track him to that spot, but then lost him. But they weren't able to track him again, even though he changed into a female.
Maybe the divination is different now. It's a different identity.
Yeah.
You know, we're in a different world now. You change into a girl, it's a whole different human, you know, a whole different genetic makeup or something like that. I'm guessing. Only thing I can think of.
Yeah, because he said they basically called off the search after months.
Yeah, exactly. You know, this scene where Klein like turns kind of like yellow with the watch, right?
Oh yeah.
That scene, when I saw that scene, I was thinking in my head, I'm like, boy, you don't want to date Klein. You don't want to be involved with that type of ability.
Can't keep no secrets from Klein.
No, man. He's going to know where you're at and what you're doing at all times. It's just going to be tricky.
Yeah, definitely.
I saw you at the market. Like, don't lie to me. I have your handkerchief right here.
I know you weren't alone.
I used divination on it, you know, like that kind of stuff.
All right, so from that scene, basically, we get a montage of just Klein training for a bit and just some chill time in between until the next investigation starts.
Yeah, which was pretty cool. It's like a time skip. So he probably got a little stronger, a little faster, a little bit more knowledgeable. And he did mention, too, that he was still doing work with the Divination Club, which probably helps the digestion of the potion.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that probably like helped him get a little stronger. And then did they go into kind of like a room where they're investigating the deaths that are happening in the city?
Yeah, in that new part of the city that they said that the deaths were increased like 5 times.
Yeah, and then Klein notices that all the deaths are people who are already going to die. They were already terminally ill.
Right, he starts piecing the clues together.
Yeah.
On their whole case board. I forgot what the cops usually call that.
Yeah, which kind of leads Dunn and them to realize that they were all sacrifices.
Right.
And then they were like, oh, it's the Demoness Sect. What do you know? They're trying to do some type of giant spell and killing people and sacrificing them to the god.
One of their demoness gods.
Which Leonard dropped once again that he has secrets.
Right, I noticed
Klein, once again, being a moron. He giggling with Leonard.
Yeah.
Giggling in the corner. This guy. Ha, ha, ha.
But I did notice at this time when he did drop, you know, and Leonard dropped that like clue or hint that, you know, he has secrets, he did say that as long as they're not malevolent.
Yeah, I guess as long as they're not bad, you know.
Yeah, then he's like, oh, we're all allowed to have our secrets as long as they're not malevolent.
Yeah.
I'm butchering that word, guys. But that made me feel like a little bit better because we've been hinting that Leonard might be a double agent. So the fact that he said
bad guy.
that
Yeah.
made me feel like, okay, so he does have good intentions. He is ultimately a good guy. Maybe he might be an anti-hero later on or something. But
He has his things, you know, that he's probably there for. I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he just wants something else. And the Nighthawks are his means to get it.
yeah, I could see that. Definitely ulterior motives going on. All right, well, ultimately, that takes us to our last and final scene when they start to triangulate their position.
Yeah.
Trissy's position, and they go into the confrontation scene and battle.
Yeah, I thought that scene was funny how it started with Trissy like putting lipstick on.
Right.
I was like, you're really getting into this, bro. You acting the part out here.
You gotta act the potion, bro.
Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, Dunn Smith once again jumps into the building, takes an immediate L, gets wrapped around in a shower curtain or something like that. And then his foot even gets stuck in the ground. Or I don't know if he slammed his foot in the ground, but I don't think he's that strong.
No, I don't think it was a slam. I think he got stuck. I think it was a spell from the demon that was protecting the house.
Yeah.
Exactly. We saw some really cool fight magic scenes in this part. Yeah. That were really dope. I thought they got Trissy at one point, but she's pretty cunning with the way that she can mirror herself. And
yeah, if you didn't notice, she was using mirror magic, which Leonard also said. He was like, oh, mirror magic, because he was pretty shocked at that. Because remember the last boss they fought, I guess, Vincent and his crew, Aurora, they also used the mirror magic as well.
Oh, yes.
So there's some sort of connection there with that, right? Not only was Vincent's abilities kind of greenish, so were the Demoness. Then we have mirror magic. So I'm wondering if there's some sort of connection between that. Let us know at home if that's the case. And before we move on, go ahead and make sure you hit that subscribe button. We would appreciate it.
Yeah, and what else really stood out to you in that battle scene? I mean, I really like that Dunn, casted his nightmare ability right off the get.
Oh, actually, yeah. He casted the ability on the whole house, which was crazy.
That was so cool.
It was like nightmare. She's like stuck in a dream thing.
Yeah, she had no clue she was even in it. That's how powerful it is.
Yeah, she had to cut herself to get out of it. That's what the knife, she took out the knife and cut herself. And she escaped the dream. Which, honestly, at this point, I don't even think Dunn's powers are useful.
He has a whole bag of tricks. He had the other ability too.
The electric
lightning
thing.
Yeah.
I guess so, but the whole nightmare thing, sorry.
And then when the shower curtain hit him, he did some other type of spell that pushed it off of him. And
he did, which I was wondering what that was. Still kind of don't know what that was. So if you know in the comments, leave that as well. We would like to know.
But overall, she wasn't really that tough of a character on one-on-one. She really just ended up running away. I mean, it was 3v1, but she still couldn't really hold her ground. Her
defense was just impeccable. That's what it was.
Yeah. I mean, true to her sequence, she was an assassin. I mean, she went invisible. She did a lot of deflecting or shadow clones to get out of attacks that hurt her. So that really was an assassin kind of style fighting, actually, now I think about it.
Yeah, and I think the spirits were from the Demoness. So she conjured the spirits from the Demoness and then gave her that power to kind of help her escape, basically.
Yeah, they didn't give us a whole lot about the Demoness. Was the Demoness already in full form? Did they catch her still in doing the incantation and the sacrifices? Was it not fully powered up yet?
You know what's funny is that at the end too, the Demoness statue was really small. If you didn't notice, it shrunk.
No, I didn't know.
So Trissy ran with the statue.
Oh.
She had the statue as well. And it was a really smaller version of it.
Oh, so she took it with her.
You took it, yeah.
Oh, so yeah, they're definitely most likely still buffing it and most likely going to see it in the next few episodes.
Yeah, that's where they get their power from, the power of chaos. They cause chaos and they get more chaos, I guess. It's let's do chaos to get chaos power. Yeah. Bad guys be after some strange things.
Yeah, I'm seeing a trend here, right? All the bad guys, all the different secret, groups are all looking out for their own god or goddess that they're trying to power. So that does at least give some benefit to the Nighthawks that they're not going to have to worry about them teaming up, at least yet. Because they all want their god to be the big god, right? So
it's not even, the funny part is it's not even only their gods, it's also the beyond their potion that's the issue. I mean, depending on the potion they have to do certain things in order to not die.
Right.
So that's kind of crazy when you think about it. You're basically fabricating bad guys automatically by giving them potions. And there's no way that they can be well, I changed my mind. Right. I don't want to be this anymore. It's too late.
I mean, could have been a good assassin out of
You can't even rehabilitate anyone in this animation. There's no second chances, guys.
Locked in.
That's it. Well, did you also notice Leonard, when he got cursed, the shadow figure was on the wall again?
No, I missed that.
Yeah, right before he kind of cut off his nail and wrapped it in his own hair and threw it. a shadow figure was on the wall again, but it was different. It was like stuff, like kind of just moving in a weird way.
Actually, yeah, I noticed that now that you mention it. Now I recall it. I thought that was symbolism that he was infected with the curse.
I thought so too. So I'm not too sure if that's the case, or maybe his shadow companion was also infected. So it was like going haywire.
That could have been
Which
it.
let him know that he was infected.
Yeah.
Yeah, because after that, he looked at his arm. He's like, something's wrong with this shadow thing. Let me look at my arm, you know?
Yeah, that's good clues. Good point. I think it actually nails it. I think that's really what it was.
Yeah, I think that's what it was too. Man, you got to pay attention to everything, I'm telling you.
But I mean, at least he got out of it. That was a pretty cool, quick thinking on his feet to do that technique or transfer of the spell.
Yeah, the whole battle was fast, but really detailed and also thought out very well. That whole battle scene was thought out very well. I thought it was great.
Yeah, by far one of the best battle scenes so far.
Yeah. And then after that, we get into the ending where Trissy goes on the train and all the guys are gawking at her.
Yeah, that was an interesting scene for them to put there, right?
Yeah, I mean, she's probably using her compelling abilities as she gets in the train to get guys to do whatever she wants.
Yeah. Oh, well, we did also learn a little bit there at the end when they were investigating the manor that, like, Trissy was Triss.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And that, like, basically, I think Klein said that in the Sunflower manual, you basically have to...
Yeah, you gotta chop your stuff off.
Chop your stuff off to join the Demoness Sect.
I think it would have been funny if they would have said what we would have said, right? Like, where is it? How fast did he get this done?
Right. And
that was quick, buddy,
I think this really makes the Demoness Sect one of the, like, probably the hardest to, like, pin down and one of the most tougher, like, secret society evil villains that we're going to see in this animation. Because, like, who's going to really think that a woman's going to be evil, especially in that time?
That's what makes the assassin tree so deadly, right? They can compel and they can turn into a female. You can do spells. You can do ghost magic, apparently, mirror magic, all kinds of strange things. It could probably be a lot more. I mean, obviously, Triss was far better than Mr. Vincent. Mr. Vincent was completely useless.
Not even close.
He got beaten, not even in the same location. He got beaten over Wi-Fi. Like, that's what happened. That was funny.
Oh, man.
All right, that wraps up episode 5, which was full of magic, demoness, and guys missing their private parts.
All right, guys. Well, let's continue our journey into the Lord of Mysteries series as we go on to episode 6. Please make sure to drop a like and a comment, and we'll see you on the next one.
Take care.